Hello, welcome to my website. I am Dr. Gordon Pettey, P-E-T-T-E-Y, Ph.D. I was formerly a university professor, but now I write books on early Texas full-time. I have 3 book producers with me who turn my research and my writings into books. We start with early man, and we write on the mound builders of Texas. We write on the historic Indians, the Tejas Hassini Confederation that very little has been written on. There's been 2 small books on them, but we have the only full-size book that has been written on them. We write on the Spanish colonial period of Texas, primarily in East Texas, because that's where Texas started. We say East Texas is the little acorn from which the big oak tree has grown, called Texas. We write on those colonial Spanish. We write on priests who built those first missions. These are non-sectarian books. We write on the Mexican period. It wasn't long, but it was tumultuous. We write on the Republic period, and that's about where we stop. We do go forward sometimes into more modern Texas history, but not a lot. Our passion and our love is early East Texas history, where Texas started. The first mission was established in East Texas in 1690, and that's how old Texas is. It lasted 3 years. There was 2 missions, one called Maria and one called Tejas. And Tejas, they say, either flooded or burned. We don't know which, but Maria was the last mission. And from it, the priests left, 3 priests and 7 soldiers. 4 of those soldiers decided they had rather not go back to Mexico, so they stayed with the Tejas tribe. And Angelina was a member of that tribe, and we write on Angelina too. As you know, if you know anything about Texas geography, there's an Angelina River named for her over there. We think that we have some of the most unique books that are available anywhere today on Texas history, and we invite you to get these books and enjoy them. We also offer old maps of Texas, and we offer diaries of Texas. So if you really love Texas history, and it is rich, the most rich history in the United States, then you should partake of our history. Let me suggest that when I finish today that you click on texashistoricalpress.org or texashistoricalpress.com. To find out more about me, go to Gordon Pettey, P-E-T-T-E-Y, Ph.D.com. And to be able to do some real deep research, go to our website called TexanHistory.com. And this will put you in touch with all the libraries and the places to do research on Texas history. And we offer you those services free of charge. I would like to talk about some of our books. Many people think that a cookbook is a cookbook, but it really isn't. It can be written in such a way that it is a historical account of how a race of people raised and planted and processed their foods and their recipes. So our books are all historical cookbooks. We have this little book here. It's a reprint. It is not our book, but we edited it and turned it into a book. It was done by a group of high school students in East Texas who went out many years ago and interviewed the oldest people in their community and wrote down their quaint speech and their quaint recipes. This book is really a collector's item. Give us this day our daily bread. Another cookbook we have is the history, pioneer recipes, meats, vegetables, and it even has a recipe on how to make homebrew, which they did in East Texas. These books have complete indexes in them, and they are well done, footnoted, and this book here is an absolute one of a kind. called The First Anglo Cookbook of East Texas. We also write motivational books. I lived in Italy for approximately 10 years, Italy and Germany. I was not a military, I was just living there. I was a businessman. And while I was there, I did a lot of research on Roman, Etruscan history and those early times. But I also wrote some books. They're motivational coffee table books, and they're good for young people as well as adults. And they're fully illustrated by Italian artists, and they can come in color or black and white. Another one is Saturdays for Stirring. It's a motivational book, and about half of it is true. It's based on a black preacher before World War II and the good that he did among his people and others, and it's fully illustrated also. Those who are interested in East Texas history, in Texas history, this is a must. It is a 3-volume set. The first volume is called The Indians Who Named Texas. That will put you back to the mound builders and early man. And it is on the Tejas Hassini group, Confederated group, that settled in the Natchez, Angelina, and Atoyac River deltas, and they are little written about. There's 2 small books on them, but this is the only full large book ever written on them. And it tells about their customs, their dress, their food. It even has some recipes in it. Volume 2 is A Saint Among Us. It's on Father Antonio Margil, who came out of Mexico, came out of a college in Mexico that he established, came to Nacogdoches and established that mission there. At that time, Nacogdoches was a village of Nacogdoches Indians, and it became Nacogdoches, but it was nothing there when he came. So he is one of the real founders of Texas. This book is well worth reading. They're about to make a saint out of him, and that's why A Saint Among Us. We're writing another book now called In Search of a Saint, and I have gone to Mexico and Guatemala, and I'm on my way to Central America to finish my research on him, because he lived in all those places as well as East Texas. He's a fascinating man. He built the San Jose Mission in San Antonio and the La Bahia below Victoria, and it's now in Goliad. The 3rd volume of this set is called The Hidalgos. And I don't have a copy here in front of me, but it's on the Spanish people themselves, their customs, their dress, their foods, their government, smuggling. It's a great book. So that 3-volume set is being offered on our website. Another one we have done, it really was fun, called Tales of Old East Texas. And it begins with the Indians, and we give about 3 or 4 tales. Then we go to the colonial Spanish and give about 3 or 4 tales. Then the Mexican occupation of Texas, which wasn't long, but it was very tumultuous. And Santa Anna came along, and everyone knows the story of the Alamo and Goliad. But it's a great book, and it's a must-read. Tales of Old East Texas. Then we go into the pioneers and end up with early businesses, such as the early grocery stores, the early drug stores, and we even tell about how to make certain of the old-time drug store drinks made with ice cream. And we end with a sentence called, "And on this sweet note, we will end this story." So that's what we do. I want you to go to Texas Historical Press and click on and read our first page. It gives a summary of Texas history. And contact us, and you can telephone us. We give those numbers, we give websites, and I'm going to wish you all well. Thank you.